Boom, boom, this is Kenry. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm coming at you from the corner. All right, we're going to be doing a continuing series here on Fallout 4. If you haven't played this, this is we're going to call this Fallout 4 Isolation Edition. So basically, we're going to be doing just basically a playthrough of the game here. We'll do most of the quests. I mean, we're not going to do every single quest. We could be here for quite some time because Fallout 4 is an extremely open world game. We're on hard mode. We're going to be doing a melee build, so this will be all melee. Won't be using guns. So this will basically just be sneak melee using, special adaptations, getting, bonuses and buffs from killing from stealth. So that's what we're going to be. So I'll explain the stats that I'm going to use once we leave the vault here right now. I just wanted to show you this clip because it's imperative to the game if you're not familiar with it. So I won't be talking to let you hear. That's my husband with our baby. Okay, so what it is basically, we signed up to be in this vault. So if the nuclear war ever happened, we would live underneath this vault. We were lied to. They let us into the vault, and instead of letting us live, they put us in these pods, which they told us were decontamination chambers before we proceed to the lower levels. It was not. They were cryogenic pods, and they froze us. This was all an experiment by a company called Vault-Tec, who you'll be finding out a lot about as we go through the game. But anyway, so we've been frozen for quite some time now, and the bombs have dropped, and I'm just now waking up, and I'm going to explain some things to you here once I get through. This is sort of like the tutorial here in the basic stage. Basically, you're just being able to walk through the game and to just get familiar with it. So I'm going to grab the running ring. All right, so Fallout 4 is it's an open world, post-apocalyptic themed game. It's the predecessor to Fallout 76, which was a joke, which we're not going to go into talking about that right now. It was a mess. Fallout 4 was a little bit of a mess too, but it was really not that bad. As you can see, it's much more fleshed out. There's all kinds of cool mods that you can buy for it, but it's a lot, it's a lot more better. I've enjoyed it, played it. There's the rad roaches. As you can see, things have changed. So we're going all melee for this. We won't be allowed to use any guns. So one of the nice things about doing a melee build is it makes you think about, it's a lot easier to shoot something, but when you're doing melee, you have to get up close, and that can lead to, bad experiences. So it's nice, needless to say, a melee build would not be, necessarily that's VATS. I will be using VATS extensively in this as we do go through the build. Oop, getting the red meat there. So let me go ahead and grab this baton here. So we're just gathering all this stuff because crafting and building settlements and stuff. We're not going to focus on that too much. We will have some settlements. It's inevitable as you go through as you play through the game with the different factions. It's inevitable that you end up needing a base of operations and all that stuff. I'm not going to go through the entire reading this here. Basically, there was a mutiny inside of here, and some of the scientists, wanted to go up top. Some didn't, and then things broke down. I will go ahead and spoil one thing for you, which you're going to find out here shortly. We've been in here for 200 years. That's right. So we've been sleeping in here for 200 years in cryo, and just now recently released. I'm not aware of that yet, but I will be here shortly. As you can see, these are roaches. So as you can see, there's definitely nuclear fallout going on here. So roaches don't normally get that big, thank God. Oh, come down out of there pretty quick. Lost a little bit of health there, but you can fill up with your health right in here. I'm not going to take that pistol yet. Simply because I think if I take that pistol, it's going to equip it.
Nice.
I'll have to come back and get that nice little weapon later, but I'm not going to would not do that because it's a gun, so it's useless to me. Not allowed to use any type of handheld gun or anything like that. Also not allowed to use Fat Mans and missile launchers. Can use grenades, fragmentation, throwing grenades, because so that'll be my only ranged option. Will be those Molotov cocktails or fragmentation mines, mines and things like that. Okay, so we need to get through that door here. We just do that from the tier here, but I'll go ahead and flash up this menu here. This is the instructions and stuff that they put out. About what happened here. You can go ahead and pause this if you want to take a look at it. So that's open, so let's get out of here. As you can see, there's quite a bit of as you can see, this point is pretty easy, of course. Can't hit that one. This is just so you can basically get a feel for the game, feel for what it's like. It's really, then you get familiar with bats. That should be out. There'll be two more here at the very end when we get out of the vault. And then as we go to the surface, I'll explain everything to you in terms of exactly what we are looking for here. Why I chose the stats that I did, and okay, so that's all the rad roaches. There's no more rad roaches in here. Now the reason I'm collecting all this stuff is because that's one of the good things about doing a melee build, is that you're going to get a lot of ammo and a lot of weapons in this game, and you can sell them all, which makes things better. Yeah, see, you automatically equip the gun when you do it there. I think you can change it by doing R. or is it 1, 2, 3? Ah, if you go to 3, you can re-equip your handheld weapon there. I have to get this. You're doing it blind right now until I got the Pip-Boy, which is just right up here. This right here is the unit. This is the interface that you use in the game. This will be able to check your inventory, you check your stats. This is where your quest logs will be, and everything. They'll be controlled inside your Pip-Boy. So it makes things nice. It's a good, it's a good concept. It also allows you to open other vaults throughout the game, because you'll see a lot of vaults out throughout the game. Okay, so here it is. So you see everything from the inventory. You got the pistols, the bonds, apparel. Just got my job suit, the wedding ring in it, and it's got the quest on it. So we're going to go ahead and exit the vault.
Vault door cycling sequence initiated. Please stand back.
Make sure I got everything. Yeah, I just got everything. I'm not going to be coming back down here ever again, so I just like to make sure I didn't miss anything, but I'm pretty sure I've played the game enough. I've beat the game 4 or 5 times. I have not actually ever done an exclusive melee builds. I've done builds where I've had the main focus to be melee, but I've always had a pistol or a silenced pistol or something like that that I could use as a backup for coming across gun, ranged users, things like that. But we're gonna have to sort of forego that. We'll have to rely exclusively on sneak and stealth, which is feasible. All right, so we're gonna exit the vault here. Let me go ahead and explain the stats to you here. Okay. So strength is measured. It's raw physical power. This is how much you do it. This is basically all. This is for melee attacks. It also gives you how much you carry. I've maxed it out. You can never have too much. When you're going melee, you're going to have to focus on it. Okay, perception is, this affects weapon accuracy with guns and things like that. Since we're not going to be using guns, it's really not good to have perception. I was thinking about doing some perception just for the ability that lockpicking is in there, but in the end, it doesn't really. Lockpicking is not really something that you really need. Endurance. Now this right here is this is your action point drain and how much endurance is. This also affects your hit points. This was one of those things again where it's just best to put as much as you can into it. But if you're going melee and you're going to be sneaking, it's really not something that you need. Charisma is this is if you're going to if you're going to be running like a build that's going to be weapons and stuff like that, you have to purchase ammo sometimes, and you need to spend a lot to get the ammo. Since we're going to be selling all the ammo we get, we're never going to have an issue with money, so there's really no need to for the prices and the bartering. It's just not needed. And affecting, you don't get much experience when you do persuasion checks. The persuade and the dialogue, you don't. So it's just not really something worth it. There's a chemical called Great Mentats, which you can get my charisma up to 6 if I need it. Intelligence, this is a number of experience points earned. I'm going to take care of that in another direction. Agility, this is VATS, and this is what you need for sneaking. And this is what you need. This is a very important. This is the most important skill when you're going to be using VATS. Okay, luck. I'm going to be using this. Luck is going to be where luck will take care of my action points. I'll be instantly getting refills on my action points. I'll be instantly doing critical hits, doing maximum damage from critical hits. So this is a very important skill that you need. And I'm going to be taking a perk that I'll show you here called the Idiot Savant perk, which gives me 5 times experience when purchasing when doing actions within, whether it be making food, completing quests and kills and things like that. So that's going to take care of the experience points, and I don't have to use intelligence because this perk, and I'll talk to you about it when I get it, is affects by intelligence. The lower your intelligence, the more often that perk that you get, called Idiot Savant, actually perks. So when you get a proc on it, the lower the intelligence, the more it procs. So that'll be where a lot of my experience will be coming from, and it'll enable me to level up fairly quickly. So I'm going to try to keep these videos to between 25 and 30 minutes. Some will go a little bit longer, some might go a little bit shorter, just depending on, you know, how things are going. So we're up here out of the vault. All right, so the game starts now. Okay, these quests right here, dog rescue, are just some little Creation Club items that I purchased. I'll be putting those in storage and won't be using them because they won't be perked to someone who doesn't have them. This is Sanctuary. This is where I used to live at. My house was right there. But as you can see, the bombs have, you know, it's just in bad shape. So it's been 200 years since the bombs dropped. I'm not aware of that yet, but I will be. So I'm just grabbing all this loot right here because it'll be used for crafting. So as you can see, it's a pretty nasty place. I mean, it's just devastated. We're in Boston. We're north of Boston, just a short distance. Boston was one of the places that was hit with a bomb. The south part of Boston took a direct hit from a nuclear blast. We will have to be traversing that area in a hazmat suit because towards the end of the game, some of the one important part of the quest goes down there. These flowers right here, which we'll be picking up, are hub flowers. These are used to make a chemical. They're used to make a grape mentats, which I told you about, which increases our charisma, which will allow us to do persuasion checks and stuff like that. Okay, so this is Sanctuary. This right here is our home. This is where we lived at before the war. Okay, so this is Codsworth. This is our butler, believe it or not. And he's been around for 200 years.
Oh, it's really you.
Codsworth, you're still here. So other people could still be alive too.
Well, of course I'm still here. Surely you don't think a little radiation could deter the pride of General Atomics International? But you seem the worse for wear. Best not let the hubby see you in that state, huh? Where is Sir, by the way?
Okay, as you can see, so we'll just walk through. He's, you know, we'll just say that he's in a better place.
In a better place.
Oh, Mum, these things you're saying, these terrible things. It's been ages since we've had a proper family activity. Checkers, or...
So now he's asking where Sean is at, and then I'm going to tell him.
Sean's been kidnapped. I'm gonna find him. I'm gonna get my baby back.
It's worse than I thought. You're suffering from hunger-induced paranoia.
So as okay, so now I've just realized it's 200 years that I've been in the vault. Had no idea because it just seems like, you know, a few minutes to us. I mean, you know, just seems like an hour ago. And that's passed since, you know, they put us in the vault. We just went to sleep and we haven't been up since then. So, yeah, so 200 years.
What?
A bit over 200, and that means you're,
Codsworth, you're acting...
Mum, it's been just horrible. 2 centuries with no one to talk to, no one to serve. I spent the first 10 years trying to keep the floors waxed.
No. Yeah, he's pretty out of it.
Nothing. And don't get me started about the futility of dusting a collapsed house. And the car. How do you polish rust?
As you can see, I mean, he's programmed to, these are things that he feels like he's failed in what he's supposed to do when he can't do these things. The car's got to stay polished. The house. You got to keep the house clean. He was helping us take care of Sean. Those are the things that he's programmed within him to be doing, and he can't do it because the car's rusted and the floors. He can't get out. All the grime. So it's interesting.
I'm afraid I don't know anything, Mum. The bombs came. I did find this holotape. I believe Sir was going to present it to you as a surprise.
Thank you, Codsworth.
You're welcome. Now, enough feeling sorry for myself. Shall we search the neighborhood together? Sir and young Sean may turn up yet.
All right. Lead the way.
Proud to serve, Mum.
Okay, so we're going to clear out these areas. There's some bugs in the houses. You're going to get to see another denizen of the post-apocalyptic world right here in this house. They're called bloat flies, as you can see them up close there. As you can see, Codsworth takes him down just like a beast. I'm not going to be using a companion.
Follow me.
Now there's some more over here in another house. Zoom on over here. I was hoping I could get that one. There we go. Boom. So they squirt radiation at you, so it can be a little bit damaging. I've got a lot of hit points because I got a lot of strength, so I'm not worried about it. Just gather up all the stuff.
Mom, your family isn't here either. They're really gone, aren't they?
Thanks for trying, Codsworth.
You can't give up, Mum. What about the city? Concord is nearby, and, well, the people there have only shot at me a few times.
So basically, the people in Codsworth, in Concord, are raiders.
Thanks for your help, Codsworth.
Good luck, Mum. You'll find young Sean. I know you will. I shall remain here.
Okay, so that's what you're going to see is raiders in most of these places. All right, so this is where I used to live. This is Sanctuary. So we're going to have to salvage all this stuff, and the way you do that is you go over to this little. You go over here to this little bench, and this allows you to build stuff. I'm not gonna. This run's not going to be too heavy on the base building side. It'll be mostly focused on that. But to do that, basically, you just go into, go into shop hitting V, and then you just basically see you can scrap it and get rubber. So that's basically what you do as you're scrapping things. You get steel from this, you get steel from this. A bunch of tires, because rubber's, not really sure why rubbers are so much rubber, because you really don't need it. And here's concrete, so you can get concrete. Scrapping some of these houses will get you steel, wood, and concrete. So, and you need these things to rebuild, to rebuild your items, to rebuild, and when you're doing base building to build, you can build shacks and walls and stuff. Scrapping wood, you can get wood stumps and all that. So that's all this is. And a large portion of the beginning of the game is just running through here. And I'll do this off camera. and you know, just to so we don't have to spend, you know, probably 20 minutes it takes to run around here and salvage everything. Okay, but I want to show you one thing. There's, you know, you'll find items in these houses, but one of the biggest places and an important place to go is right on the back side here. You'll see this house right here. It has a shelter in it, and it has some, these people obviously survived the bombs dropping. So there's nobody here now, it's abandoned. But as you can see, they had stored some stuff up here. Ooh, Molotov cocktail, that's nice, and a pipe pistol. And then right down here, they had a cellar, root cellar. So let's go clear this out. Now, it's important to go down to this root cellar. The first melee weapon that we're going to be purchasing from a merchant down in the Drumlin Diner, which is a little bit south, and it's not cheap. And since I have low charisma, I'm going to need to sell some stuff to get it, and I'm going to have to get a great mentat to increase my charisma, so I can get a better price. But these gold bars are what you need, because you can get pretty good money for those gold bars, enough to buy the it's a sword. It's called General Cho's sword, and it does extra 50% damage against machines. The bad guys in this are synths, which you'll get more familiarized with them as we go through the game. So that makes General Cho's weapon. We will be siding with probably with the railroad, simply because that quest line is a little bit quicker. The Minutemen quest, the quest line just takes too long to go through, and the quests in it are dynamic. I might do it, you know, we'll just have to see how it goes. I do have to complete some quests for the Minutemen at the beginning of the game anyway, so we'll see. So yeah, you just want to make sure you come down here and get all that stuff. It's right there, so that because that's an important to help you progress through the game. I like to do quick saves a lot of the times, so I don't lose my progress. So make sure you do that. Go up on the roof there and grab that, and then go ahead and go down into the basement and that little root cell there. Get all that stuff out of there. You won't be able to open up the chest that's down there because it's too high level. But you can come back later if you do choose perception and do lockpicking. You'll be able to come back later and get it. And you know, just zoom over here and grab these hub flowers, but be careful because there's raiders and stuff over in there as well, some bloat flies. So let's go out here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and but that's pretty much everything that you need to know about Sanctuary. Now, when I'm going to go ahead and clear everything out here. I'm going to scrap all these houses, and you know, scrap that house in the corner. And there's some rad roaches, I think, is in this house. Yeah, there's one. Couldn't get that second one. It's hidden behind the hidden behind that trash can. Now, whenever you kill these red roaches, make sure you pick up the here's oil can, so I want to pick that up as well too. That's oil. Oil is always good. Okay, and then there's another rad roach right down here. He's hiding right there in the woods. There he is. Okay, and then there's one more right here in this house. So as you can see, they're making it easy on us, you know, giving us all rad roaches and stuff, and a lot of things like that we can go on. This is a cooking station. I'll show you how to use that a little bit later, and I'll show you that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and end our first episode here. When you come back, I'll have you know, salvaged all this stuff. We'll have a bunch of wood, and a bunch of concrete, and a bunch of steel. You know, get some fuses, broken light bulbs, glass, and things along that nature. Yeah, I'm just going to go. That's all I'm going to do is just run through that, and then after that's done, you know, I'll have next episode, and we'll do a little bit of base building, setting up this place, getting it ready, because we're going to be using this as our base for the first part of the game, until we move farther south where it's just not feasible. I mean, you do have, you know, you can do, you can't teleport in the game. I'm doing it on hard. I'm not doing it on survival mode. Survival mode takes forever. And I'll show you some special stuff about this, but I just wanted to go ahead and show you the first. First, let's go ahead and do this real quick just to get it out of the way. If you go into your house, you'll pick up this, which is very important. This book right here is critical hits with unarmed melee attacks do 5% damage. So you definitely want to get that, okay? And then right here, go in here in this room and you get a special book right here. This book right here allows you to put one attribute point. I'm going to put it in charisma, because we want to get 3 charisma, because there's a perk in the charisma tree called, take that blast radius, because there's a perk in the charisma tree called Lone Wanderer, which allows me to, people do, I do more damage, and I do take less damage when I'm traveling by myself without a companion. And since we're going to make this game interesting by doing it without allowing me to have my trusty companions, you can take, there's a lot of them, then I'm definitely going to want that Lone Wanderer perk, and I need 3 charisma for that, so I have to put another one in charisma as we level up. So that's it. So thanks for watching. Remember, this is Fallout 4 Isolation Edition coming at you from Kenrir. Okay, go ahead and put a like on the video, and go ahead and click on the subscribe button if you're notified every time I drop a video. And I will be trying to do at least once, sometimes twice a day. I will be trying to focus on this. All right, so go ahead and get the word out. All right, so this is Kenrir, and I'm signing out.